presents final report on Nigeria's general election. It offers 23 recommendations for improvement. The European Union Election Observation Mission, EUEOM, has presented its final report on Nigeria's 2023 general elections and offered 23 recommendations for future improvement. The elections were held mainly on February 25th and March 11th, 2023, with run-off few days later. Bola Tinubu of the APC was declared winner by the Independent National Electoral Commissioner of the highly disputed election, with both defeated candidates of the PDP and Labour Party, Atiku Abubakar and Peter Obi, presently at the Presidential Petition Tribunal to win back what they described as their stolen mandate. Addressing a press briefing in Abuja, the chief observer AUEOM, Barry Andrews, noted that his team carried out its work between January 11 and April 11 on the invitation of the INEC. He added that a delegation of the European Parliament joined the EUEOM for the observation of the presidential and National Assembly elections, and that the mission accredited a total of 110 observers from 25 EU member states, as well as Norway, Switzerland, and Canada. Andrews also in his presentation stated that the lead up to the 2023 general election, Nigerian citizens demonstrated a clear commitment to the democratic process. He, however, noted that the election was exposed enduring systemic weaknesses and therefore signal a need for further legal and operational reforms to enhance transparency, inclusiveness, and accountability. The EUEOM noted that shortcomings in law and electoral administration hindered the conduct of the well-run and inclusive elections and damaged trust in INEC. The EUEOM offered 23 recommendations for consideration by the Nigerian authorities that would contribute to improvement of future elections. Andrew said, "We are particularly concerned about the need for reform in 6 areas which we have identified as priority recommendations and we believe, if implemented, could contribute to improvements for the conduct of elections." The 6 priority recommendations pointed to the need for removing ambiguities in the law, establishing publicly accountable selection process for INEC members, ensuring real-time publication of and access to election results, providing greater protection for media practitioners, addressing discrimination against women in political life, and impunity regarding electoral offences. He added, "Importantly, there is a need for political will to achieve improved democratic practices in Nigeria, insisting that inclusive dialogue between all stakeholders on electoral reform remains crucial." He said the European Union was ready to support Nigerian stakeholders in the implementation of the recommendations. Reacting, the National Commissioner and Chairman, Information and Voter Education Committee, Festus Okoye, who spoke to journalists after the presentation, said improvement on the 2023 elections had been reported thus far by international observers. He said, "We are going to harmonize all the reports by international observers that have been presented, and we are going to look at the reports holistically." He added, from the report presented, the EU made the mention of the fact that there have been significant improvements in our electoral process and there have been so many positives to this particular election. One of the positives is that we registered over 93 million Nigerians during this election. Not only that, if you look at the reports submitted by the international observers in terms of voters accreditation, the BVAS performed optimally. Well, what does that mean though? Optimally as in bare minimum, just standard? Okoye, however, admitted that there were challenges, promising that recommendations from the international observers would be worked on and implemented. He said, but there were also a few challenges, and looking at those challenges, one must look at the context and the environment of the election. Insecurity was in some parts of the country, which we cannot dispute. Secondly, violence was targeted towards our staff and some Nigerians. Fuel scarcity and naira redesign also were challenges. He, however, said recommendations have been made on administrative and legal issues, and we are going to harvest and implement them. Could you expect anything more vague? The recommendations, talking about beavers and how beavers was, reacted optimally. And I'm so like, wait, so what does that mean exactly? And it's so funny because I'm like, the EU of all organizations, like, what would the EU say apart from, recommendations? And the fact that it's INEC that invited the EU to, carry out their analysis and then give recommendations is like, come on. It's like, imagine you then tooting your own horn or you grading yourself. That's basically what it is. And that just does not make sense. So yeah, it's actually very confused as to what detail that the EU is going to go through with this. But anyways, put what you think in the comment section below and do not forget to like and subscribe.